I think it's critically important that people understand that it is an extremely normal thing to struggle with some sort of issue with a mental illness during their lifetime. Matter of fact, I don't know anyone who hasn't.
I probably first struggled with mental illness in my own life, beginning as a child, struggling with anxiety, and probably even with depression as a child.
As early as kindergarten, as 5 years old. I've struggled with depression all throughout growing up and high school years. I was always worried about what people thought of me, but never knew what that was.
Well, we have a 26-year-old daughter, Anne, who is bipolar. She was a very successful teenager, but always plagued with depression. When she went away to college, her sophomore year, she had a psychotic break, was hospitalized, finally diagnosed, and what would work best for her was determined.
By the time I was in college, I was struggling on and off with full-blown depression, but I was too embarrassed to seek help for that, even though I knew that.
I did seek counseling for a little while, and that was helpful to me, but I still wasn't ready to admit it to anybody else.
The barrier of the stigma of dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, people who deal with family members who have a mental illness, whether it be mild or whether it be major, is very unfortunate. And as a matter of fact, I think it's unchristian that we do not support those folks and deal with them in a better way.
There are two organizations known in the community that really are supportive and advocates for mental illness. One is NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness, that actually supports families who are experiencing a mental illness in their family or with their friends. The other organization is DBSA, which is Depression Bipolar Support Alliance. They are actually the ones who support the people who have the mental illness. These two organizations work together very closely, and they're forming an alliance between the two organizations that really help support not only the consumer, what they call the person who has the mental illness, but also the family members that are going through the mental illness with them.
What I did, and it was in a church setting, I went to hear a speaker who talked about NAMI. So I found out about the Family to Family course, which is NAMI's signature 12-week program that's going to be offered here. And in that program, I learned about mental illness, medications, coping skills, the stigma, and how to deal with it. And I met people who were dealing with the same thing. They had loved ones, children or spouses, parents with mental illness.
Well, Myra and I were looking for an opportunity to be able to work with the members of the church here in our community in a way that would help reach people that had emotional and spiritual needs. We're humbled by the opportunity of being able to share and to support by being trainers and leaders in the area of reaching people that have these special needs.
You know, 1 in 4 Americans during any given year will struggle with a mental illness, whether it be a short episode of depression or anxiety, or it be, out of touch with reality. At some point during the given year, 25% of us struggle with that.
This is for anybody who says, you know what, I want to know more. I want to be able to help people, and I also want to know more about what's going on with me. So we really hope that you will join us this fall on Sunday afternoons for the Family to Family class, and also be listening for the support groups that will be starting as soon as that class is over, so that you can find help and you can find support.
If someone in the community is supporting people who do struggle physically or with a behavioral health diagnosis, it should be the church. And if it's not us, we're missing the boat somewhere. So I feel like it's absolutely critical that we do that, and I am delighted that we are starting to see the need for that and taking some steps.